Tonight on Connecticut's news station, the heat is forcing many districts to ring that dismissal bell early today. Fox 61's Carmen Chow looks at why installing AC units in classrooms isn't as easy as you might think.
And the heat and humidity linger when we could see some relief, and we're keeping our eyes on the tropics.
Struck me as a silly attack in the midst of political silly season.
We're less than a week away from the state's primaries, and tensions are heating up in Hartford's mayoral race.
Plus, rescued at sea while the Coast Guard was called to a cruise ship hundreds of miles off the coast of Cape Cod.
Now at 6, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
And first here at 6, the heat forces many schools across the state to dismiss early. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Sarah Sanchez.
And I'm Brent Harden. School superintendents say it's a move they might have to make for the next couple of days, depending on how hot it gets.
Yeah, Fox 61's Carmen Chow joins us live in New Britain to explain why districts can't easily just install AC units everywhere. Carmen.
Brent and Sarah, Smith Elementary School here in New Britain is just one of the many schools across the state that had an early dismissal today. Now, I did speak to the New Britain superintendent, who says when it comes to making these decisions, it's all about the health and safety of the students. Just days into the school year, more than 40 schools across the state had early dismissals on Wednesday as temperatures spiked to the 90s, conditions that may continue for the next 2 days. Dr. Tony Gasper, the superintendent of New Britain Public Schools, consulted with a meteorologist and a doctor who helps him decide what is the best move.
I'm responsible for the health and safety of 9,700 kids, 1,600 staff members.
The city of New Britain has a total of 19 schools. 7 of them have air conditioning throughout the entire school, but the rest only have AC in certain spots. When asked why AC units are not installed in all schools, Dr. Gasper pointed to tens of thousands of dollars that he simply does not have.
Only makes sense when a school gets a full renovation because of how disruptive it is to the building itself and how long it would take. It's not a project that we could do in a very short amount of time.
In April, Governor Lamont issued $56 million in grants to public schools for air filtration upgrades, and it was up to individual school districts on how they wanted to use the money. Fran Rabinowitz, a former superintendent, states for every school to have an AC unit, it would cost more than $56 million.
The cost of air conditioning a school is exorbitant.
This New Britain parent believes early dismissals are not the long-term solution.
I don't think it's okay for them to be let out and them take away from their education. It is expensive if you're looking for something brand new, but it doesn't hurt to look for something that's used or people that end up volunteering to donate.
Now, as a heads up to parents, this heat is sticking around at least for the next 2 days. So what does that mean? That means an early dismissal could happen again. So make sure you check your notifications and you talk to your child at home to plan your day accordingly. I'm live in New Britain. Carmen Chow, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Yeah, that heat's sending parents scrambling to find childcare tomorrow, I'm sure, yeah. But if you do like the heat and humidity, I guess you're in for a bit of a treat, right?
Yeah, Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frayne joins us now with how much longer these high temps will continue. It's not going away right away, Rach, right?
No, we think we get even hotter as we head through the day tomorrow, and the humidity will linger right into this upcoming weekend, even after the heat is on pause. I feel like if you do like the heat and humidity, though, you kind of got to keep it to yourself because there's so many people that are mad at it this time of year. So 2 days down in the 90s, we have at least one more day to go, maybe 2, because Friday will get very close to 90 degrees as well. Heading into the weekend, no more 90s, but as I mentioned before, if you're looking to get rid of the humidity, that's not going to happen anytime soon. A heat advisory remains in effect all the way through tomorrow afternoon with a heat index between 95 and triple digits. So it's just the National Weather Service's way of saying, hey, you know the drill, make sure that you're taking care of yourself, especially for people that work outside. Temperatures right now are in the 80s to right around 90 degrees. But it feels like 95 to 100. And again, that is something that you will feel again tomorrow. Temperatures tonight will be slow to drop off if you're hoping to get some fresh air into your home. Upper 70s for the news at 11, and towards daybreak, we're right around the 70-degree mark. And then again, lots of sunshine, heat, humidity, highs in the low to mid 90s tomorrow. Slight chance for a late day or evening shower or storm, especially in northwest Connecticut, but most of the state stays dry. A better chance for more numerous showers and storms heading closer to the weekend. Your full forecast coming up.
Thank you, Rachel. And if you need shelter from the heat, Governor Lamont is extending the state's extreme hot weather protocol through Friday. Cooling centers will be open for anyone who's at risk. Just dial 211 on your phone to find the closest one to you. You can also visit 211ct.org. Politics now. The primaries 6 days away, and tensions are high in Hartford right now. There's a new odd couple in capital city politics.
And each member wants to take the reins at City Hall, of course. And that's where we find Fox 61's Samaya Hernandez with the latest on the battle to become the next mayor of Hartford.
There are 3 challengers facing off on the ballot on Tuesday, and another who is petitioning. Now, 2 of those candidates joining forces against the mayor's pick. An appeal creating an odd political couple.
You may not have a vote, but by contributing, by getting involved in this election, you can have a say in what this city looks like and the level of investment we put into our capital city.
That was mayoral candidate Arunan Arulampalam fundraising in Torrington last month.
I would never, and I don't think Councilman LeBron would ever make the offer to an audience of another municipality that if they contribute to my political campaign, they can have some say in what Hartford looks like.
That was former state senator and Judge Eric Coleman Wednesday during a joint press conference his campaign held with petitioning candidate Councilman Nick LeBron.
There was a quid pro quo with saying if you give dollars, you can have a say in what Hartford looks like. That is exactly what was said. And so what that indicates to me is that it's a trade.
I have a lot of confidence and faith in the voters of Hartford, and they will decide what they feel is important for them.
And that's 30-plus year state senator John Fonfara seeking votes from seniors in the Frog Hollow neighborhood Wednesday and seeking distance from the day's political spat. Coleman and LeBron aren't joining campaigns, just voices against Arulampalam. They say his efforts to raise money in Torrington are out of touch with the needs of Hartford residents. But Arulampalam, who is CEO of the Hartford Land Bank and endorsed by Mayor Luke Bronin, says he only raised $570 in Litchfield County that Saturday.
That's exactly the message you carry anytime there's a campaign. You want people to get involved.
And the 2 campaigns have asked the Arulampalam campaign to return that money to the citizens in Torrington, but they have not responded to that request. The primary is next Tuesday. In Hartford, I'm Samaya Hernandez, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
And ahead at 6:30, Fox 61 political reporter Emma Wolfhorst will share everything you need to know about absentee ballots. She's answering questions from everything like who qualifies and what are the deadlines to mail those votes. We'll also look at the security that is behind the ballot. New tonight, a big rescue for a woman who was sick aboard a cruise ship 180 nautical miles off the coast of Cape Cod. The U.S. Coast Guard says the woman was ill and had abdominal pains and had been vomiting all day. The ship was on the way to Greenland at the time. Just 4 hours later, 2 crews used medevac to get the woman off the ship. No word on how she's doing tonight.
And new tonight in Hartford, a man is in the hospital after getting shot earlier this morning. Officers were called to Park and Wadsworth Streets around 10:30 this morning. The victim was taken to the hospital in a private vehicle. There's no word yet on what may have led up to that shooting. And to Old Lyme, where a motorcyclist is dead after crashing his Harley Davidson. State police say it happened around 4 yesterday afternoon on Route 156 near Mile Creek Road. We're told 78-year-old Edward Lazarin was ejected from the bike after it ran off the road. He was taken to a hospital where he later died. Anyone who saw the crash is asked to call state police.
To Waterbury now, where a man crashed his van after being shot. Officers responded around 7:30 last night to a report of a shooting and crash on Lounsbury Avenue. Police found the van you see there crashed into another vehicle with nobody inside. Officers found the 20-year-old driver nearby. He had been shot and was sent to the hospital. He is expected to survive. If anyone saw the shooting or crash happening, you're asked to contact police. Tonight in Winstead, officials are investigating inappropriate signs posted around town. The town manager says the signs promote a white supremacist group and were found posted on light poles in the downtown area. They've since been taken down. The town manager is urging neighbors to report the signs so they can be taken down immediately.
Well, tonight, an 11-year-old girl who was hit by a vehicle after getting off the school bus yesterday has been released from the hospital. Police say the middle school student was trying to cross Buckingham Street after the bus left the area. This all happening just before 3 yesterday afternoon. Officers say the driver who hit her stayed at the scene and does not face any charges tonight. A friendly reminder for everyone to take extra precautions around bus stops and to make sure no students are in the road. Authorities are asking you to slow down and be patient and to avoid any distractions while you're driving in your car. Drivers must stop when you see a flashing red light on a school bus. You could face a nearly $500 fine if you don't. And speaking of buses, the Coventry bus strike continues tonight. Workers are pushing for better benefits and wages. Union leaders say negotiations right now are at an impasse. The union that represents Coventry bus drivers also represents drivers in Bolton, Stafford, and Willington. Those drivers could potentially join the strike depending on how future negotiations go.